be a little bit noisy, but this is diamond number 1 here, right?
So this is diamond 1.
And this, we're looking at a field with fences at about 300 down the lines.
And 335 dead away center.
Yeah.
That's actually, you'll see our standard size, 335 center field. So they're shorter by about 20-25 feet than high schools.
Yeah.
And we did that on purpose to allow more home runs.
And you got covered seating.
Got covered seating pretty much throughout the property.
You got fans for the fans.
And so then there's misters up there.
The misters
little
too.
Black things.
Yeah.
Little cables going around. And then there's music at all of them.
Okay. And playgrounds, batting cages.
Yeah, the batting cage. And then there's a real unique area over here. We're actually going to build the indoor facility over here. It's in Bethel right now. The old Bethel Hardware building in town.
Yeah.
2 doors down from the Midway. You see neon yellow in the front windows. That's our indoor facility now, but I want it here instead.
Right.
So we're going to sell that building.
Now this lake is 19 acres.
Yeah.
And what's the number? How much property is back here right now?
Well, there's 80 now. Negotiating for 25 more to build 4 more diamonds right now. So right here, this will be the next thing, is the next kind of big improvement. From the driveway here and closing that batting cage is going to be a big indoor building. And it's going to have a dirt floor. This whole area here will be dirt floor.
But the best thing for kids that are coming up here to play before a game, they can get some BP, and a lot of fields won't want you to do that.
Yeah, it's free, and we let them do that. And now it's going to be inside, so they can do it year-round.
Right.
And we're going to have big garage doors, 10 of them. The Mennonites are building it for me.
Uh-huh.
And 10 garage doors. And so we'll leave the garage doors open in the summer. They're 12 by 16, 12 feet high, 16 feet wide, 10 of them. So they'll be 160 foot open. And you'll be able to walk in and out of the building like it's outside, and we'll have lots of skylights in it.
Yeah.
But then in the winter, we just shut the garage doors and it's closed, so we can use it all winter. And it'll be about a 6,000 plus square foot building. This building right here. So that's going to be the indoor. I'll pull you down this other area now and show you this pitching area.
And there's 8 fields total.
There's 8 fields total, right?
5 with lights.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's 4 more on the immediate drawing board. We're breaking ground on 4 more by the fall.
Okay. When we're done here, I'll ask you some more stuff, but I'm just things that come to my mind.
Over here, I have a booklet on my desk I can give you that describes this area too. But this is right here. This is pitching camp. Okay, right here is pitching camp, and I'm going to show you the next area but this is where the boys sit. So 3 days a week, from 8 to 11 in the morning, we go through the National Pitching Association materials. It's Tom House, 12-year major leaguer, best pitching coach in the country.
And he's coming here for a clinic?
Yep, coming here July 3rd through the 7th, and then the clinic is like the 5th through the 7th. Or wait, yeah, 5th through the 7th. And Tom's #1 pitching coach, widely recognized. Chris Welsh, who's Chris Welsh's pitching coach. Chris was just out here Sunday, and they talked about it Monday night on the Reds game and called it the pinnacle of youth baseball. Was the facility here?
Around here, I'd have to say so.
Well, they say nationwide, actually.
Yeah.
It's not just around.
I haven't seen them all.
Yeah.
But I'll take your word for it.
Well, I haven't seen them all either, but that's what everybody tells me that comes through. They've seen a lot of them.
You know what? I'd put it on a sign right now.
Over here is this unique area. So I'm pitching obsessed.
Yeah.
I train pitchers. That's what I love. So part of Tom House's routine, I'll give you his materials, is the towel drill, which you've seen over the years somewhere.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so all those rubber mats there and all those rubbers on the ground, that's where the boys do their towel drill.
Okay, so this is towel drill right there. Then we got
8 rubbers.
Okay,
and they throw out a tee.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8 guys can throw their bullpens at a time, but we have these drills called Kill the Rabbit. It's from Tom House again.
Uh-huh.
And Kill the Rabbit just gets them. Our pitchers are renowned for working quick and 1 second from first foot movement to landing. Okay, so 1 second, 1001. They're back on the ground. And so the umpires are always slowing our guys down, saying we're quick pitching. We're not quick pitching. We're just moving. As soon as you're ready, we're coming. So we don't mess around on the mound.
If they're in the box, you're allowed to throw.
That's right. And then last night, this guy was letting them have timeouts during the windup. I'm saying, now where'd you get that? You know, but
Yeah.
we don't argue with umps. I can give you some philosophy stuff. Nobody's allowed to argue with umps from the Flash organization. It's a big deal if you argue
They
with
tend to
them.
not change their mind.
Well, we just don't speak. We basically don't challenge them. This is a wall for drills again. It's got padding behind it, and the guys ram their hip in it sideways, and they put their knee in. There's about 8 drills that are done against that wall from the Tom House. So we built that wall just for that, and the other side's netting to catch the pitches from in there. And then you see the red stuff. Anywhere,
So what looks fairly simple is actually more complicated than one would imagine.
here we got guys kneeling on their knees on the one side, throwing at those X's, and they 80% of velocity comes from what's called separation, and that's the difference. When a pitcher fires his hips and his throwing shoulder is still back, what angle is he getting between the hip angle and the shoulder angle still? What's that angle? And if it's 65 degrees, you're major league. And 80% of velocity for any person, 80% of your capacity comes from how much you're hitting your angle. If you're only hitting 30, you're not even coming close to your velocity. If you're hitting 60, you're at the major league level. So if you look at Sabathia or Chapman, the guys that throw really hard, they're huge separation guys. Okay, so you'll see their shoulder still back while their hips are already fired, squared up to the plate, basically. So that's the kind of stuff like the knee drill. We're having them on their knees, and all they're focusing on is that separation, because 80% of velocity comes from there. The other 20% comes from the spring when your back goes forward. And then we have curveball machines, you know, that'll throw those concave Tech green machines. They'll throw, and these are iron mics, they're called.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of spring training facilities. What some of the stuff they have.
You used to go down to Reds and we had Troy. We've had actually the physical therapy guys from the Red Spring Training designed a whole program for the Flash. And then we've got a workout booklet in there. We've got major written stuff. And then since we were real close to Tom House, and he's allowed us to use his materials.
Who caught Hank Aaron's home run ball? For those that don't know.
Tom House did.
Yeah.
Caught it in the bullpen.
7:15 in the bullpen. Yeah.
I think he told me that.
Yeah.
The record breaker or the last one?
The record breaker. 7:14 was hit in Cincinnati, 7:15 in Atlanta.
So we just did the netting on the other side there to catch these pitchers. And then wherever we care about being able to go, you know, right after it rained is the red stuff. So all in here is the red stuff, because it's real expensive, but
calcified clay.
Calcified clay, that's CAL, calcium. So these tees are the best tees made. About $120 a tee. They just don't tip as easy.
Right.
Now we're making our own, kind of similar with concrete.
Yeah.
It's basically just radiator hose.
Yeah.
And steel tubing, and then we stick it in concrete. And so we're going to have tees everywhere. You see them everywhere. And then a lot of ballparks you go to, you can't hit anywhere. You know, they won't let you hit into the chain link, but here you're allowed to hit into the netting.
Yeah.
And there's netting everywhere. You'll see we're like major netting.
So any team that comes, as long as there's one open, they can
hop in the cages. Every team gets treated just like us.
Yeah.
A lot of there's a lot of maintenance, but then we do a lot of stuff like to keep up with this. You won't ever see a push mower on the property.
Right.
Okay, so if it requires a push mower to cut, it dies.
Yeah.
Okay, we spray it. And then there's a whole prescription program for the chemicals for the year. So you see hardly any weeds in any of the grass. There's no broadleaf, they call it.
Right.
And then it gets fertilized, the plugs get pulled. Everything's on a routine that's prescribed by Green Velvet, is the company. And the guy's kind of like a PhD, and he's like a doctor for grass, you know.
Good to have.
Yeah, a lot of the guys are the same guys, like the Moats.
Yeah.
They helped us. Moats for free helped us design the sprinkler system, and gave us advice. Mr. Heinlein at Moats, and so we've had some top people step in, you know, to give us advice. People, you know, they just love it. It's not just, this is just not the best place to play, but it's the best place to train. This is the best training facility that we've ever seen.
And on a day when you've got games, this lot is full, and
You've been here, but
right, yeah.
So you come in, well, like you come in July 4th weekend through July 4th weekend. There's 50 teams in our tournament, and then the following week the Flames have their 13-year-old national tournament. They had 60 teams from 30 states coming.
Yeah.
So the Flames tournament is going to be just wild. That's the top, and they'll usually get the year before. I don't know what they have this year, but the year before they
need to get you a Marriott on property.
Well, that's what everybody says. Yeah, we may do that someday if it looks like it could carry it. You know, none of this, we still lose money every year, but that's why I have to subsidize it. And Cook's Sporting Goods downtown is our supplier for almost everything.
Yeah, they're good people.
So Greg and Chris just flashes a non-stop shipment for them. And then the umpire group, the Flames and us, are his two big clients for the umpire group. So
yeah,
there's on an average weekend, on a tournament weekend where we have a big tournament, it's 200 games going on here.
Yeah.
And since we're filling up, now we just build more. And then we built this huge restaurant. Anybody else has a restaurant here? Okay,
yeah. I mean, I was here in March and it wasn't ready yet, but that was about 2 weeks ago.
Now we're adding bullpens down the sidelines. We're actually going to, I just ordered $4,000 of 10-foot long, 4-foot wide strips. So we're taking all the mounds, both the bullpen mounds, which are going to be down both sidelines. There's Chad, the full-time maintenance man.
Yeah.
And that's one of two groomer machines. Those are the best groomer machines made.
What's
for
Chad's
diamonds.
last name?
Chad Ward. He's a football coach for Williamsburg.
Okay.
Here, Chad, look this way, man. Guy wants to take your picture.
I got you.
All right.
Say hello to Trevor Foster for me.
What's that?
Trevor, I know him.
Trevor?
At
Foster.
Williamsburg?
Trevor Foster?
Yeah.
Oh, did you? I coached him.
Yeah, I covered UC football with him.
Oh, did you?
When you played.
This is Scott Springer. This is Scott Springer. He used to be on WLW for years.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Sports guy, and now he's with the Claremont Community Press. And then,
Is that right?
so this is one head. And then this is Heather. She's actually a Beverly Hills decorator.
There you go.
We brought her back here. She decorated our home in California.
This is just like Hollywood, right here.
So we said
Back lot.
let's get back there with some different people, you know. So she did our home real nice in California. So she's doing the restaurant, you know, the look of it, and she's pretty well all over the property.
Heather, what's your last name?
Patterson.
Might have to use it in the article.
Okay.
All right.
So she's a little machine.